Greetings, Starfinders. Welcome in. Excuse me if I'm kind of doing this a lot, because I've mullered my neck again, so I'm on loads of painkillers again. But that always makes for an interesting session, doesn't it, folks? So, bear with me. Oh, yeah. Fighter. We're going to just shuffle in a little bit, and we're going to get this thing going. So, yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so let's head over to our cast, and now we can hear them. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Great.
Having a good run up to Christmas so far?
I'm ready to hibernate.
Yeah. Ready to
Everyone's
drink my body weight in Baileys.
Very sleepy.
Me too.
You're very quiet again, Face, just to let you know.
So you're much more chipper than Connor.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, but it's Starfinder, isn't it?
So, last week, you were aboard the Rusty Mustang with
chipper earlier.
Clem and Yala, the Yosoki couple, truckers of 20, 30 years, giving you a lift out to Cryonis 3, the icy mining moon, in which Aldous Callahan has a small, silent investment in a consortium that's doing various mining operations across this system. He expects his deliveries to come through in a timely fashion. They normally come through every 6 to 8 weeks. But he's missed a delivery, and not only that, he can't get in contact with his xenogeologist, who's kind of his inside man down on the surface, just keeping an eye on operations for him. A xenogeologist called Dr. Ubel Helsig. That's who you're looking for. That's Aldous' man. He has given you a couple of things. Obviously, the various bits and bobs on the ship itself and the lift. He's sorted all that out. But he's also given you a set of credentials. 2 sets of credentials, actually, on your PCUs, which essentially show that you are acting as authorised agents of a silent partner within the Cryonis 3 mining consortium, in this case Aldous, and another set of credentials that show you are appointed agents of his. Now, he's asked you to keep his status as a silent partner silent, if at all possible. So just bear that in mind as you are navigating whatever comes your way. So there's suspicion that it might be merely a comms problem with the planet. There are, I know amongst you, suspicions of something darker. Zoe, Clara had her own communique from Aldous, separate to the rest of the crew. What went on there? What was that all about?
He told her that it looks like her disappearance and some of the other disappearances that she was investigating could be not only linked, but linked to whatever's going on Cryonis 3. And she told everyone else about it when we were all sober. Well, Laz and She and Clem were there when she read the message.
Okay. Sorry, I've just got to ban somebody. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so you've had some rest. You rested up. Bit of drama on the way. Got jumped by pirates, but you just turned tail, got out of there, not the mission. Cracked on. Had a good night or two, probably a few, with drinking with Clem and Yala, hearing old stories about all sorts. But now you are coming up on Cryonis 3. Clem has kind of called you all to the bridge because you're on final approach. And away you go.
What can we see the planet from like the bay ship window, whatever?
You can. So you are not much of a window, not a big windows ship. This ship. The best place for the view is probably there are some actual proper portholes in the airlocks. Check those out. Or there are, there's a big screen. There's a big screen, and yeah, you're getting a visual through. It's just outside of scanning ranges. You're coming up in a position where you can kind of choose to make a what type of orbit you may or may not want to establish. So you're at that kind of point.
What can you tell us about this rock?
Well, I've not been here too often. I normally just drop her down, pick up the crates, and off I go. There's a couple of decent-sized landing pads just outside of town. Beyond that, it's a bit of a one-horse town, if you know what I mean.
We transmit a message from approach, try and get in touch with like traffic control, or maybe even xenobiologist himself.
Well, they don't really have no traffic control out here. It's just you book your slot, you fly in, you get your stuff, you get out. That's pretty much all there is to it. I can try seeing if I can raise anyone down there.
And he just starts poking at a few buttons, looking for the beacon.
Yeah, I feel like a radio or a scan would be helpful.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, I'm not getting anything from their beacon. Yeah, that don't seem to be going through.
That feels a bit worrying.
The beacon itself is set just outside of town. The town is kind of nestled in the Horseshoe Mountains. That's where they using to break up some of the weather they got down there. But then the pads are just a little outside of town, and comms and beacon will be out beyond that. Don't work too well in the mountains,
I was going to say, Clem, do you know how many people live on the planet roughly? Is it like quite a big settlement?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 100 or so. Not many.
They're pretty small.
How
A lot of
easy
the
is it
mining
to-
down there is automated. You see, just needs people to run the machines. You don't need they ain't down there with pickaxes.
How easy is it to land this ship undetected?
Well, I don't know about undetected. She's got a big ass on her. I mean, I can put her down. Not too many places to take her down to, though.
What are our
Pretty-
options?
It's pretty snowy down there. Well, I'd say best bet is your landing pad. If you want to go straight in.
Is there anywhere more discreet that we could potentially land?
Well, I could try putting her down out in the plains. It's just, I don't know, they built their settlement there for a reason. I'm a bit wary of putting the Mustang out in the middle of nowhere, especially with all that snow. I want to be able to get out of here if we have to. I mean, you're the boss, but
Any other
it'll be a
ships?
sketchy landing.
Yeah, can we try and scan for if there's any sort of stuff going on down there, any ships coming off the planet or anything?
Sure thing. Well, I can pop her in a low orbit. We can pick up a scan first and see what we can see.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I feel like that needs to be done.
Okay.
Sounds wise.
Just don't get too close too quickly.
Yeah, low orbit.
Okay, so if from a low but inconspicuous orbit, you pass the Rusty Mustang has, she's a nice ship, but they've not spent a lot on the sensors. It's mainly used for docking. A little bit of threat assessment, sure, but they're not like a science vessel. Blaz, can you give me a computers check, please, as the kind of science officer type?
That is a 22.
A 22. Okay, let me just check.
They do have +9 to computers.
Okay, so they're not really designed to pick up life signs, especially in these weather conditions. It's very cold and icy and windy down there. So no life sign scans. The basic life sign scanners they have on the ship, mainly for picking up life signs on maybe like an abandoned ship, like a kind of on a rescue type safety point of view, but not really for an orbital scan of a planet. But you do manage to locate everything that Clem was talking about. So I can tell you that from orbit, you can see the layout of the settlement. You've got a pretty almost a cargo container looking town, nestled in a U shape of pretty jagged, tall cliffs, and then it really starts to break up into mountains, and that's kind of forming like a funnel around the settlement. Coming up out of a dip onto a huge plain of rocks and abysses and cracks and snow and ice. You've got a couple of roads, heavy-duty trunk roads that run up from the settlement to a landing pad complex, and there's also some warehousing around the landing pads. And then heading out from the warehousing landing pads area, you've got a series of goods roads. Again, pretty heavy-duty. You can make them out as dark tracks against the snow. Linking the pads out to a kind of almost like a fan flower type shape of 3 areas of kind of, you can spot the blemish of industrial activity on the crisp snow. 3 entrances to the mines here. Now they mine pretty interesting mineral, and it's not found on many places. Relatively niche. It's not absolute gold dust. Otherwise, it'd be a more, I suppose, protected colony. But in its ore form, you really have to process an awful lot of it before it starts to get useful. It's a. I can't remember the type from geography, but it's a type of ore that can be refined into all sorts of useful spaceshipy things. And yeah, that's where they're mining. You don't see any major movement or activity around the mines. You are struggling to get a strong signal off the drift beacon, but you can see that the settlement has power. And the mines appear to have power as well, but there's so little activity, it's hard to tell.
I guess you should take us down then, Clem. I don't think we're going to find anything out from up here.
Can we see any movement?
No. There's no movement. You can see that no, that's it. That's no movement. You're a bit high up. You're a bit high up. It is a sensor scan, so it's a bit high up.
Right. Can we close to
There's no other ship pings. Don't get any ship that might just have a beacon on it.
Give me another computers check, Blaz. Or in fact, no, Face. You take this one. Give me.
Can I do it as a mysticism for the magic officer check.
Remind me what the magic officer check allows you to do.
It's basically the same as like the scan action.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the. Are you doing what? The precognition is it? That one?
Yeah. No. What's the other one?
Scrying? No. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're kind of scrying. Okay. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You channel your mystic energies into the next scan, touching the warp as you do. Give me a roll.
New dice, please. That is 9.
9.
Better than a 1.
True. But I do have a +4, so really.
You.
Zoe, why did you give Connor cursed dice?
I didn't. There's only so much I can do if someone's just cursed, okay?
You should have gone to Satanism. That's all I'm saying.
No, there are no ships in orbit or in the vicinity. You do, however, notice that there is that space here certainly seems high energy. There's something there's something in the senses that seems twisted, warped, distorted in some way. You do pick up on something in the region that is making things not quite right.
Okay.
Do you mention this to anyone?
I do. I'm just thinking in what way would be best to do that. I mean, I know, guys, we know, we've been thinking there's something wrong on this planet, right? But I can definitely feel it now that we're close. I think we're going to have to go and just get down there and see what it is, but we should definitely be careful if it's got this much of an effect on the surrounding area.
It could have an effect on us.
Well,
Good thinking.
that could be the dual system we're in. It's lining up on itself at the minute, and sure is playing hell with the gravity around these parts.
Clem, is it possible for us to do a pass at, say, about, I don't know, a few hundred feet over the settlement? Or maybe even a bit higher up? So we can just do a recce, see if there's any movement.
You want to take a close pass.
Yeah.
Who's going to pilot this close pass?
Nanashi.
I suppose if I have to.
Okay, please give me a piloting check.
14.
14. Okay. You can't get down too low, but you can certainly get a closer past the buildings. You can't do a pass of the whole. It'd be an awful long time to fly at this altitude, but you're covering the settlement, I'm presuming, here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you fly over the settlement, you don't see any outward signs of damage. You don't see no immediate cause for concern. Power is on. There appears to have been recent movement. There are, like well-trodden paths in the snow. There are lights on. You don't see much movement at the moment, but you do. It doesn't seem. You're not getting Marie Celeste vibes off it, or at least if anything did happen down there, it happened really recently. Like really recently. Yeah, and as you and you can see that as you track your way back towards the landing pads out over the settlement, leading out to the pads, as you track the valley altitude, you get a good look at the trunk roads that lead you down into the settlement, and the first couple of miles of the roads that lead out to the mines, and they all seem relatively clear. Should be pretty easy to navigate. No obstructions. Okay.
Should we land? What do you think, guys?
I think we should land.
Yep, let's get it in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to figure
Let's do
anything
it.
out up here.
Okay. Clem gives Yala a little whistle over the comms to get her to land it. You get the impression that any time it's an even vaguely tricky landing, he gives Yala a shout because she seems to be the one who does the cheeky manoeuvre right at the end, and she just, even in pretty horrendous weather conditions, she manages to kiss the Rusty Mustang down onto the concrete, and you are, I would say, about a mile or so outside of the settlement at the moment. The condition reports outside. It's a breathable atmosphere. It is very cold. It's fluctuating at the moment between severe and extreme,
How does that
dependent on
compare to
wind chill.
Clara Stone Planet?
You have cold resistance, correct?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. You will.
So long since I've had to check.
You will, while you're on this planet, not have to worry about the cold unless the weather takes a distinctly
Oh yeah.
bad turn for the worse. But your ample coat and natural evolution has made you okay down here. Anybody else got any cold resistances I should know about?
No, I'm just immune to sleep.
Okay, so I will tell you that in severe cold, and it's severe at the moment, an unprotected character must succeed at a fortitude save every 10 minutes, DC of 15 plus 1 per previous check. So over time, these fortitude saves get harder, or you take 1d6 non-lethal cold damage. A character can attempt survival skill checks to gain a bonus to this saving throw, and might be able to apply this bonus to other characters as well, dependent at my discretion based on what it is you actually are trying to do. So,
Is there any cold weather gear on the ship?
specifically cold weather gear, I mean there are the EVA suits, but they are you've got just above Earth normal gravity on this planet, and yeah, they're unwieldy for moving around on a planetary surface. Yeah, they might keep you warm, but whether or not it make you'd just be knackered.
Not good if we need a quick getaway.
But
How
they
long
might
does it
buy
take
you
us to
some
get-
time. They might buy you some time.
How long does it take us to actually get into the settlement? So undercover from where we've landed.
Well, it's about a mile in, so I would estimate that's going to take you.
Bear in mind we're trudging through snow as well, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a good half an hour.
Baz, before we get off the ship, did you sort that armor out?
You know what? I did. I was, I'm assuming we had enough time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, going to present Face with a newly altered set of privateers' armor for him to wear, and my own set of oh god, what was it? Clear, whatever it picked up. I've forgotten. It's in my inventory somewhere. Bear with me.
I think we
The armor called, so I can get it out of the.
So yours
freebooter,
is
wasn't it?
yeah,
Freebooter armor.
freebooter armor 1. It's light armor. And mine was the clear weave. Yeah, that's it.
It's I thought when we set off that Aldous had provided us with some cold
That's what I
weather
thought
gear.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Clem, do you know where he might have put it?
I
We
think.
lose it in the goblin attack.
No, I think you should lose goblins. Who's boss? It'll be in the back somewhere.
And he gestures over towards a small stack of cargo crates. that managed to come on in one of the last forklift loads, courtesy of Yala. Inside, you do find some thermal clothing, which you can wear in combination with your armor. But it will basically make it like one category warmer when you're wearing it. Cool. Getting your fleecy underlayers on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut a hole in the back of one. Cut 2 holes just so my wings can go through. And then just put it on. And then put the hood on. The little hat, the little snow hood hat thing.
Nice gloves as well. You kind of need your hands, but they're
And some
well
booties.
protected.
But actually, I want thermal shorts, so I can just have my calves out. You know?
I'm freezing to death. What a great idea.
Can I drape Clara Gale round me like a sort of muffler?
I was wondering that.
Alternatively, Captain,
Elf and catch her in the right mood, maybe.
I could just carry you. I could just carry you, Captain. Like that'll keep your paws out of the snow, and hopefully, if you're like wrapped around me, that'll keep me a bit warmer.
You can cut the legs off, but it will diminish their effectiveness.
By what, like half a stage of warmth?
Well, I realise I've painted myself into slight corner now. I was going to do it in degrees, and then I was like, no, let's keep it simple, and then you instantly complicated it. Your feet alone will occasionally have to take a fortitude saving throw,
Okay.
and if you fail it, something bad happens to your feet.
Okay.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay. Right. So,
Before we exit the ship,
mhm.
Clara's just gonna sort of take a moment and just once again go through like everything she's learned so far and just look at the others and just say, I very quickly become a lot more emotionally attached to this mission than I thought I would do. I trust that one of you will help with possible physical force if I start to get too emotional. And she like she's looking at all of you, but she like takes a longer look at she than anyone else.
Hopefully knock you out any day. Is that what you're asking?
I mean, maybe not unconscious, but a good shake.
Oh, shake, that's fine.
Great.
Shank
thank
is also close, but shake is fine. No knocking out. Got it.
I'll
you.
try not to.
Stepping.
Yeah.
Ormungandr makes a mental note. Open hand slap to the captain in case they start acting weird. No claws. No entropic strike.
Just
Yeah.
Well, you guys ready to get going?
Let's do it.
ready as I'll ever be.
Well, all right.
Where are we heading? Are we heading to the settlement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Just checking.
I've always got the ass if you want it.
What now?
What?
It's our little runabout kind of ATV
Yes.
kind of thing. It should take
Yes.
should take a
Great.
good few of you. She's noisy though.
Do we want to go straight into the settlement, or do we want to check the beacon and comms tower first?
I say we go straight in.
Are you sure?
Could we split up and sort of some of us go one way and some go the
Splitting
other?
up is a good idea.
Yes, let's split up.
Oh, just
That's-
laugh
that-
at
that's
my
all-
idea. Fine.
That's always worked out really well for us so far.
She's just like, I'll be right back.
What do you want to do, Captain? What are your instincts?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
My instincts are normally to go the cautious, more investigative route, but my emotions are clouding my judgment right.
I feel like, we probably won't find out much at the comms tower. If there's people in town, then we'll know straight away that everything's sort of okay. But if we go all the way out to the comms tower, because it's like, there's...
But if the station's been taken over by a team of all-star European terrorists, then and one of them has occupied the comms tower, that might be a good juncture point to take them out and cut any comms that they have. Like if the comms tower's sound and we know that everything's sound, and we haven't introduced ourselves to everyone by steamrolling straight into the settlement.
Well,
maybe you take a little nibble and then see.
Well, if it helps at all, the ass will only take 3. She's only really to get me and Yara around.
Oh no.
How far away is the comms tower?
It's
About a mile out west. God, look at me, I'm not used to being on planet anymore.
So each location is a mile in different directions, and the ass.
yeah, well, it's like it takes you a minute, but like as this conversation unfolds, you come to realise that this is like you've got the Rusty Mustang,
and ass.
Then they were going to call it the mule, but they thought then Clem thought it was funnier to call it the ass.
Yeah, she doesn't get that at all. So
Clem just definitely won the Sophie's Choice question.
I think it looks like we might have to split up, guys. But Captain, it's your choice.
If the ass can only fit 3 anyway.
And that's pretty tight. Squeeze.
Me and Ormungandr can check out the town.
Yeah, go find a lizard on a stick vendor.
And you guys...
Hopefully nothing will keep us held up at the comms tower and we can catch up with you faster.
Yeah, I mean...
anyway with the ass.
Clem, you stay on radio with everyone.
Oh, I was planning on staying right here.
And then when you guys get to the comms tower, you can radio us.
Well, your PCUs will still work, I would imagine.
That was I was gonna check.
It's only
Only
about a
people
mile.
see
Even in these conditions, I reckon they'd be fine.
Yeah, hopefully we don't
So-
run into any...
As Blaz boards the ass, he just glares at Face and Ormungandr. It's like, don't eat anyone.
Can we
Don't
trust them
start
alone?
shit.
I would never.
I'm a bit concerned about leaving them alone in a town full of people.
As
Face-
much
Face-
as I
Face-
love
Face
the
says-
taste of skull, I would never,
You are the least conspicuous people I have ever met.
Face says I would never. Ormungandr goes, I might.
Which ones do you boys have with you?
I'm down to my last 50.
They'll be
Yeah,
fine.
they'll be gone in about 20 minutes.
You'll live.
Yeah, it's been a long trip. I mean, what do you want from us?
For you to not eat people.
We're warm-blooded
It's a
saurian
big
creatures,
ass.
and you've stuck us on a fucking ice planet. We're gonna need to generate some body heat.
Hey, I didn't stick you anywhere. This is all Aldous is doing.
Go see if you can find the oh god, who are we looking for?
Ubi Helsing?
Dr. Ubel Helsig.
Ubel.
Helsing. Ubel Helsing.
Find
Doctor.
Dr. Helsig, and Blaz
Dr.
writes it on the back of
Helsig.
Ormungandr's hand for him.
In crayon.
I think it was Sharpie.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's going where?
Lizard Bro's going to the
Boys.
settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the 3 of us go into the comms tower.
Okay, and you're taking the ass up to the comms tower because obviously Face wouldn't fit in.
B.
Yeah, I
Floor
feel like I'm
bump.
too big, and Ormungandr's military trained, and I'm quite big, so I feel like we could get there quite quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there and back to the comms tower quite quick.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can catch up faster if we got the wheels.
Mhm.
Well,
Sense.
we shall see, won't we? In that case, who's driving the cat? Who's driving the ass?
Laz takes the wheel.
Okay. Can you give me a piloting check, please?
Certainly can.
Even
Uh,
even space.
4.
Patriarchy's nefarious.
Okay. So I am going to say that because of that, essentially your journey is taking a lot longer. So it's tricky to navigate. The ass wasn't really made for this. So it's struggling in these conditions. The tracks help, and probably better than going on foot, but not by much. Which means that the Dragon
Sorry about the
Boys,
jiggly ride.
on the relatively straightforward route into town, actually managed to get there before you reach the comms tower. The clear roads and long strides of the Lizard Boys help them beat you there. Chaps, as you are...
Can she just takes a minute to look at Blaz and sigh and just says, should I just drive next time? Jesus.
Well, maybe
You
if
know
you're
that's
only good
only
at
she's saying
directions.
that and not me.
So have a full-blown domestic in the ass. Right.
Even in space, the patriarchy is shit at driving.
I'm here to smash the patriarchy.
Hell yeah.
So we join the Lizard Boys as they pluck their way through. It's been an icy cold. Even with your thermals, any exposed areas are really feeling it. In fact, can I have a fortitude saving throw for your feet, please? Your albeit stylish feet.
Oh, sorry, was that
I
funny?
mean, they are quite stylish, just so you know.
Yeah.
That is a 7.
That is a 7. You failed. Your feet really fucking hurt because you cut the legs off your thermals to look cool, to show you could show off your calves. Where your calves now hurt. There are no negative effects beyond that, beyond to your morale right now. But I can't promise that will remain the case.
Don't worry, when we get in, I can use my survival check and try and like warm up your feet.
I can feel my calves burning, but I don't regret my decision.
Okay. Right.
Style over survival.
Yeah,
That's how
because,
we're going.
because I've seen Ormungandr like checking out the shorts, and whether he thinks they're good or not, I'm counting that as a good thing.
Just to clarify, Ormungandr has a big balaclava on from his thermals, and it's just stretched out, and there's just these like evil like lizard eyes staring out, and occasionally like puffs of smoke because he's smoking his cigar through his thermals.
Stealthy. Very
And
stealthy.
he's got his monocle on outside his balaclava.
I'm guessing these like winter clothes, they're like all white, like parka kind of things.
Well, the thermals are actually an underlayer, so whatever you're wearing on the outside would still be there. But
Don't
this
worry-
is kind of like
don't worry,
a
Brian.
technical fabric that is helping insulate you.
Once we
it's
get there,
thicker
we'll
than
eat some
normal,
people and
so-
steal their parkas.
Yes.
And we won't
yeah.
tell the other guys
Yeah, no.
that we
don't-
ate anyone.
No, yeah, we won't. Oh, how close to the town are we? Oh God of this world.
I would say you're just a few hundred yards out.
So we can see houses.
You can now get a bit of a sense of the layout of the settlement. So
Okay.
there is. Go on.
I'm Ormungandr. I think we should. There's usually sort of like a sheriff around these kinds of towns, right? We should probably try and find that place first. You know, find the security, see what's going on. Because if security's been overrun, then we know everything's fucked. But if
You think-
security's still here,
Do you think it's worth us trying to sneak in rather than just wandering in openly? I suppose, Jay, can we see anyone actually moving around or outside or?
Not yet. So what you can see is the front. You can see the horseshoe mountains and cliffs looming in the background, and laid out in front of you is a kind of. You could tell from the air it's got a kind of almost. It's pretty circular, but if you cut out a section of the east face that faces towards the mines, and the roads lead in through, there is a a large gap in the wall, and ahead of you, you can see kind of I suppose something approaching a street. Inside the settlement, you can see these kind of prefabricated, airdropped-in residences, a few larger buildings for sort of offices, a canteen, that sort of thing. You can't necessarily make out which are which at the moment, but you've been to similar settlements in the past. You've got a feel for this kind of shake and bake colony. That's what you can make out so far. Not really much movement on the street, although you do see some. You do see lights on. You do see.
Okay.
You don't see. You've still not seen anyone yet, but you can't see far into the settlement. You're sort of seeing through the through the gap.
Well,
there's,
I guess
there's the wall.
through the
We should just take a peek over. See if we can- how tall is it?
It's got to be like 30 foot. It's like lent to large sheets of just alloy, just mainly to keep the winds out.
Yeah. Can I fly up to there and just grab onto the top and have a peek over?
It's very windy, but yeah, you can start. So you want to avoid the entrance.
I think we want to just do a quick recce see what we can see into the settlement
before we fully go in.
Commit, yeah.
Let's have a little peek over the wall.
Okay. As you break off from the road, you start making it through some pretty tough terrain. It's it's thigh deep snow in places. You're getting up even your legs, Face, but you make your way around to the side of the.
I let Face go first, so there's
You're
like
walking in his footprint. Yeah. A wise move because it is deep and it is
Like
cold.
a kid following their dad.
I'm using my wings to shield myself, make a little plow, and just.
Okay, so as you make your way to the edge of the settlement, it's the sun. By the way, it's a kind of like it's like a dwindling sunset. You've touched down in the kind of late evening on this moon. Okay, if you want to try and fly up this surface, I will let you do that, but it is going to be, it is right, yeah, because we are talking like 30-mile-an-hour winds, so it is going to be an acrobatics check.
Okay.
And it's going to be on I'll give you 30, set a DC 17.
That is a 21.
Very nice. Despite the high winds, you managed to catch an updraft that's pushing up over these large alloy plates, protecting the settlement, and you just coast it and set up like quite an impressive hover for a creature with as yet limited flight skills. But you just float up and pretty much just parkour your way onto the top of this alloy plate in like a gargoyle. Pretty sweet move, dude.
Thanks. I look down to see if Ormungandr is impressed.
You just see them doing this.
I just give him 2 thumbs up, and then I look over. What can I see in town?
Okay, so give me a not a perception check. The thing that's not a perception check. It is a perception check. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 10.
Okay. You still don't see anybody out on the streets. You see lights on, although you do make out the sound of voices heading from the centre of the settlement out towards the gates. Sounds like you can make out three distinct voices, but you can't tell what they're saying. But yeah.
Can I tell what language it is?
It's in common.
Okay, alright. Yeah, the town seems pretty deserted, honestly.
Can I try scaling the wall?
You can. It is going to be obviously incredibly icy and slippery.
I want
I've got claws. They're like crampons.
I'm gonna assist him. If he gets near the top, I'm going to help him up. So hopefully that will give him like a bit of a bonus.
Okay.
And I could use. Wait, let me check. Is there any cool thing that I could whip my Tacklash onto and then scale my way up?
Oh, okay. In that case, I want you to make me 2 rolls, and I'm going to base the results on the combination of these 2 rolls. So I would like an acrobatics check and the Tacklash. Would that be I'm going to make that a ranged attack.
So the acrobatics roll is a 17.
17. Okay. Yeah. And and give me that.
Oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Just give me
Tacklash?
a ranged weapon attack. So,
No, not just catch it and help him scale.
And that's 17 and 15.
17 and 15. Yeah, I'll let that fly. Yeah, with the addition of the Tacklash, you do actually manage to Indiana Jones your way up. Batman and Robin's
Nice.
Batman 66 your way up. The alloy sheeting. Congratulations. Somehow I've stopped my music again. And yeah, you join face up on the top. You 2 can roll a perception roll if you'd like.
Wait, where's my perception? Oh, okay. That is 19.
19. With the 19, you can make out a few more of the buildings inside. So you can see there's a canteen area. There is an administration office and town hall, which is one of the larger buildings in the centre of the town. Around the perimeter, you've got like just a whole bunch of residences. There are a few other smaller kind of distinct prefabs. So there's a sort of doctor's office / sick bay. There is as well on your way off the road, I forgot to mention, I do apologise. On the way off the road between the gate and where you scaled it, you did see another prefab just outside the perimeter that seemed to be a bar. I'm just trying to think if there's any other buildings you see. No, but with that high roll, you also pick up the faint sound of hollows coming from a couple of the settlements. You know, like kind of TV, effectively. The sounds of a switched-on TV or something similar, some sort of, kind of space-age radio system, something, distant voices, just mutterings coming from different residences. Yeah, and you two hear the 3 people approaching the gates.
Should we just wait and see what they say? See who they are.
What's directly below us?
Directly below you is
in the town. Is there any like an alleyway that we can, or like a building that we can just jump down onto and then get into an alleyway?
Yeah. So I would let you do a couple of quick checks to make sure it all goes smoothly. You're looking to stealthily enter the settlement. Okay. Yeah. So I'll let you do that with a couple of rolls. So I'll let you do another. Can you do an acrobatics check this time, please, Ormungandr? And can you give me an acrobatics check as well, please, Face?
Yes. So that's mine is.
That is a 5.
21.
A 5.
I use my wings to help glide down.
Well, this is it. I was going to say that actually you could roll really badly here, and you're not going to hurt yourself or anything, but you do make a bit of noise. Your wings bang against the side of one of the what appears to be a resident. It's hard to tell from the back, but as you drop down behind it, Ormungandr's stealthy tuck and roll is somewhat spoiled by the sound of. And you drop down into just behind one of the prefabs. And you can see kind of out into the open square.
So I reckon we can get a good little listening point from here to see what's going on. Everything seems a bit, I don't know, it seems okay right now, but...
Yeah, it all seems normal. This is why we sneak around for ages, and it is just completely normal.
As you sneak along the side of this prefab, you've now got a line of sight on the gates from the inside of the settlement. There is a small lit office, which you determine to be a security office. There are two armed security officers wearing big parkas, and there is another something slightly more ornate, more casual, I guess, not non-military, non-uniform, big parkery type thing, a little bit more flair to it. Stood in between them, and they're just they're looking out to the road, seemingly waiting.
Face, let's eat these guys and steal their parkas.
I was just thinking that. I do, but I'm afraid I might have to just bite his head off, and that might ruin the parka.
Wait a minute. If there was only like one of them, I could sneak up on him and garrote him, and then we could steal the parka. Wait, hang on. Do these guys just look like normal security guys?
Yeah.
Because maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we shouldn't be eating just the residents if they're just the people we're supposed to be investigating. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean.
Mind you, the other guys aren't here. We could just have some fun.
I mean, these guys don't really seem shady enough to eat. I don't think.
Okay, fair enough. I
We'll eat some people later.
I guess wiser heads prevail. But should we?
We'll eat some people later.
All right, it's a deal. It's a date.
Yeah, nice. But we should listen to what these guys are saying.
That's a great idea. Okay, yeah. Can we sneak closer and then try and listen to what these guys are saying?
Let me just check my character's perception here. I am going to require a stealth check from both of you, please.
Oh god. 7.
24.
Can I stay back?
As Ormungandr Kirk rolls his way behind crates and barrels, moving closer to get a close ear. You can almost hear the high strings of Face going ticka 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 as he tries to tiptoe across the yard. Unfortunately, however, the 10-foot red dragon tiptoeing across the snowy yard does alert the 3 people stood at the gates who whirl on you. The 2 guards sort of draw their weapons. They're startled, right? You've frightened them because they turn around, and of course, unfortunately, what's happened is you've given Ormungandr away. He's caught mid-Kirk roll, and so you now are both very much exposed. And the 2 security guards go, Jesus! As they catch glides.
I'm just gonna sort of jump back and put my hands up, but then finger guns. I'm not firing the finger guns. I've just got them ready.
Ormungandr stands up and points finger guns at Face.
I point one finger gun at Ormungandr and one at the guards.
It's the fucking Spider-Man meme.
Why would the captain? Why would he send those 2 on their own? Oh my god!
Just like to say, I didn't send anyone anywhere. This motherfucker wanted to go straight to the settlement. It's not my fault. He's an impatient bitch.
Oi! Who goes there?
No, it's too right. Don't.
Where'd you come from?
We've just been walking around town, we've just been...
The guard... I unfortunately, I can't do it because of my neck injury, but the guards' heads are on the swivel and they are looking around the town. They genuinely feel like they're going mad because they don't see strangers around here, ever. And you've just appeared in the town while they felt as though they were watching the gates.
Doing a good job.
Tensions are high. And they look terrified.
I'll say, do you want to sort this out? Who's more charismatic? Are you charismatic? Thanks?
I'm very charismatic.
Okay, you do your diplomacy thing.
How the fucking hell did you get here?
You guys are pretty surprised that we're here, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're actually here on behalf of one of the investors and shareholders of this mine, and we're here to test your security. And you, at this moment, are not passing. You did spot us though. That got you a mark. But we got in without you noticing. So that's going to go on the record. But we're here to test your security and check on the mine. You know, our guy is very interested in keeping this mine safe, and he's also been missing a few, you know, shipments. So we're here to check everything's okay.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Give me a bullshit check.
This is a low DC.
19.
Were we supposed to
19.
not tell them that we were involved? How we were involved?
No, just who were we involved with.
We're not allowed to mention Aldous, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
DC 19. Sorry, 19 check. That's a good roll. Okay. And the tall gentleman in the centre of the two security guards seems to take over at this point, and steps a couple of paces forward, still looking somewhat suspicious.
My name is Nix Mazerata, and I am the duly appointed administrator here at the Cryonis 3 mining facility. You are trespassing, sir. I have had no notification of any authorized transports, and I wish to know your business, sir.
I get up the credentials, not the ones that say oldest,
Okay.
but I get them up and I say, look here.
And okay, you ping him over to him. He checks. He carefully studies your credentials, claiming that you are appointed representatives of one of the silent partners here in the Cryonis system mining consortia. And despite the fact that he is still clearly suspicious, he does acknowledge their veracity.
Representatives of a silent partner, Not so silent anymore.
Well,
What is your business here, stranger?
as I said, we're obviously security is pretty lax here, and the silent partner that we work for has been missing a few shipments. We're here to investigate. You know, once your stuff goes missing, you tend to stop being silent about it.
Well, I can assure you there's a perfectly rational explanation for our delays in delivery. And I resent the
Okay,
implication that we are doing anything less than a stellar job here in Cryonis 3.
Well, let's talk about this inside. Have you got somewhere for us to talk about this?
Please, come and join me in the meeting rooms.
And he just swishes
Okay.
off towards the kind of town hall administrators complex in the centre of the town.
Ormungandr, how are we feeling about this?
Ormungandr stops pointing his pistols at people, does an imaginary thing like he's twirling them and holsters them, and then goes, guess we follow him.
Okay, we should ping the other guys, find out how their mission is going.
Well, actually, yes. We as this has unfolded,
I'm gonna
the
let
guys,
them know that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
found that we're in and that we're talking to this guy.
You can tell which one of them's worried about getting in trouble.
well, that arrives just in time for them to arrive after a somewhat janky drive to the comms tower. It is very dark, very windy out there. There are lights on the tower itself. The drift beacon itself is lit. There is power going to it. There's no sign of recent movement. I don't see any tracks or anything in the snow. And you are out on the blasted plain of Cryonis 3 as you pull up to the base of the tower.
Tall is the tower.
It's probably 100 feet. It's a pretty serious piece of engineering.
Wow.
I was going to say, she can detect thoughts within 60 feet, I think. It's like a spell. So if we could get closer, maybe could at least detect if there was someone in there.
Oh, interesting. Do you need line of sight to do that? Do you need to actually be able to see them?
I have absolutely no idea.
I feel like that was probably a line of sight
I think
ability.
you do.
Well, it is very dark and it is very windy and snowy. Yeah, I will say that there's no one. Certainly no one within 60 feet outside. You don't sense any thoughts to latch on to. But you can't sense inside the tower. It's very narrow. It's not a big structure width-wise. It has a small doorway, a small hatch entrance to the base of the tower, with a small flight of steel steps.
Might as well bustle over to the doorway, try and gain access.
Okay. It is secured. So I'm going to need you to give me a hacking check, a computer's check.
Ooh, computer check, my favourite. That's a dirty 20.
That's a dirty 20. That will get you in, which is good because you were starting to really feel the cold. The ass isn't as warm as you might think it would be, and so you've been feeling the real nip for the trip out here. Okay, so you make your way inside, and
I want to do empathic communication before we go in.
Okay, yeah.
Just, or sort of like as we go in.
Okay, yeah.
So just mainly to kind of, because that's the one where I can kind of like sort of broadcast an emotion, sort of. So mainly to kind of broadcast the, the come in peace kind of vibe, but also it gives her a bonus to insight and sense motive. So if there is anyone there, then she can be able to find out if they really mean any harm or not as well.
Okay. Cool. So you setting on inside. Okay, as you enter, there's not much to the tower. An awful lot of the beacon is essentially a huge antenna. So there's some fairly high-end power management systems going on. It takes quite a bit of juice to run it. There are a couple of configuration and diagnostic computers, but the rest of it's really like just directly up above you. And at first glance, everything is humming away as you might expect. So it doesn't appear to be any damage. There's no one inside. It's deserted. Powered and functional as far as you can tell, without digging deeper.
So why would it not broadcast?
Don't know yet. Need to go and take a look at the diagnostic screen. But that is quite a home among high voltage humming power cables. He likes the. He likes the zap. He's growing fond of these.
You seem very zen, like zap
yes.
zen.
Loving it. All right, diagnostic it is. So log in, see what's wrong with this bad boy.
Okay, give me another computer's check, please.
Another computer's check. 18.
18. You managed to get your way into the first layer of the system. And essentially it shows you the operating status of everything. It's a quick front-end check. So you can see that power is good. You can see that systems are good. You can see that the link to the settlement and the link to the mines are active and intact. However, you can also see that there is a transmission block on the antenna array.
Transmission block. Or she. I'm gonna need you to go up top and see what's up.
Sounds more like something that someone's hacked into the system for. I think he was trying to make me climb a tower for no reason. I mean, I'll do it because but
I mean, I'll see what I can find out here, unless you want to try and do this.
computers aren't really my thing. I don't know if climbing a tower is my thing. Like, how high am I going?
Would you like me to go?
No, I don't mind. Is it
You should be.
acrobatics?
You should be good. Yeah, you should be good.
Is that an acrobatics
Oh,
thing?
sorry. Is
Okay.
this to climb the whole thing?
Person.
I think
Climb to the top and see where. See
uh,
if there's a block to the
it's
transmission.
it's athletics, but really, like you can kind of there are ladders to ascend. So the athletics check will really be a test of how efficiently you manage to make your way up there.
Can it be acrobatics? I have good acrobatics and really bad athletics.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid it's athletics.
I hate you.
Unless you
Okay,
can, unless you can
fine.
tell me some like very acrobatic way you choose to get up there. But I think for me, it's an athletics
I
check.
would
Do
be.
some flips and stuff.
It would be an interpretive dance of my anger at being sent up to the top of the tower.
No, it's gonna. You know what? It's gonna be athletics. Roll me an athletics check.
I tried.
It was
11.
Good pitch, swing and a miss. Okay, yeah.
11.
You know, it's a fair old slog, but you managed to make your way up. There are a few hatches along the way that give you access to the exterior of the mast. Would you like to stop off at any of them on your way? It's pretty much like ladders, small gantry, hatch, ladder, small gantry, hatch, and these are small circular, well, part circular gantries because there's kind of this glowing central mast that seems to be consuming most of the power, the drift beacon itself. But there's not really any external instrumentation on that, really. It just is a long, drawn-out, thin beam of light.
I don't know. I mean, what are the chances there's potentially somebody hiding there? I think we check the.
Inside this this mass structure, like you pretty much like you've climbed high enough now to see the rest of the way. The catwalks are grilled. You don't see any. Now you've got cleared some of the opacity of the earlier balconies. You can see that it's clear up top. There are more hatches to the outside, but yeah, there's a hatch to outside on every level for maintenance purposes.
I think I'm just gonna radio comm check with Blaz. Blaz, do you want me to go right to the top and check the beacon thingy?
Yeah, if you could just make your way all the way up. Apparently there's a transmission blockage.
Okie dokie. So yeah, I'm gonna climb all the way up to the top, not doing interpretive dance.
Okay, you make your way. You know what? I'm going to give you this without a check. It takes a little while, but you make your way all the way to the very, very top. There is nothing there, just a lot of stairs and hatches.
Blaz, did you know there was not going to be anything up here?
No, I just didn't want to make the climb to check myself, so thanks for that.
Yeah, she's just gonna make her way down slowly while Clara and Blaz check out the actual system.
Okay, right.
Thank you so much for that.
While Blaz is doing computer stuff, I would actually like to look around to see if there's like... Does anything look damaged at all? Like physically?
Give me
Or are there any,
give
like,
me a perception
debris or
check.
anything? That's a nat one. You can fuck
No,
off,
nothing's
Blaz,
damaged. You're also you're actually getting a bit claustrophobic in here, and you're not liking being in this room. It's too tall and too narrow, and it's too hot. It's heated in here as well. You don't like it. Yeah, you're actually feeling a bit panicky. Sorry.
Okay, she's just gonna honestly, me though. This is very accurate to how I would be, so that's fine. Blaz, I'll be out here. And she's just gonna like walk outside.
I was kind of typing away on the keyboard and engrossed in the monitor.
Give me that computer's check, you insensitive bastard.
She's just gonna be outside vaping to calm herself down.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Clara, the icy wind is actually comforting to you. You're fine out there. You just need a minute. You don't like really, really, really tall, narrow spaces. I think it's kind of weird. Vertical shafts, things like that. Just not your favourite.
Yeah,
You should climb to the top. It's It's nice and peaceful up there.
Blaz, you managed to. It's, to your computer skills, it doesn't take you long to get to the bottom of what's going on. But essentially, there is an authorization process in place, implemented by the facility administrator, restricting unauthorized communications to and from the settlement, and it was placed in a few weeks ago. And that has been intercepting messages.
Can I see any messages buffered up, or is it just no hard block?
Give me another computers check.
Another computers check. This is 23.
23. Okay.
Bless you.
The systems in which the messages are stored you can tell are incredibly secure. It would take you quite a while to crack through them, or an incredible stroke of luck. But what you have managed to do is manage to get just deep into the directory to see a list of captured messages, or at least the list with subjects and senders. No content. You can't get to the content, but you have managed to pull up a directory. It's pretty long. Do you want to do a search? Do you want to search it? Do you want to sit there and read through the whole list? What do you want to do?
What are the 10 most recent ones?
The 10 most recent.
Yeah.
The first one is from a. This is the point where I just really need a very long list of names. 10 most recent, you bastard.
All right. Okay.
No. It's fine.
She's back now, and she wonders if it would be better to just look for communications from Ubi. What's his name? Ubi Helsig.
Ubel. Ubel.
Ubel.
Helsig. Just there you go.
He isn't very good with names.
Well, I can say
Ubel.
the last 10 were mainly just system reports, automated system reports from various things around the colony. There haven't been. There seems to have been a big drop-off in people sending messages. There are some earlier on in the block history. So shortly after the block went in, there was kind of more of a flurry of messages, and then it sort of tails off, and then it's really just automated system from now on in. So by ordering by sender, you do see that Ubel Helsig did have one message caught by the transmission block. And it was, you would recognise it as one of Aldous' holdings. It's not listed as such, but you've been given enough information in your credential packs to notice that one of his shell companies is the intended recipient, and it is from Ubel Helsig, and it essentially is it just says urgent, must talk as the subject. That's all, and that was the day after the block went in.
So is the administrator, who put the block on, the same person who Face and Ormungandr are speaking to in the town?
For the purposes of the folks at home, yes, or at least that he claimed to have the he claimed to have the administrator role,
right.
And it only says administrator lock. So it doesn't it doesn't say the name Nix Mazerata. It says
Does that mean we can eat it? Yes?
No eating.
Blaz is going to get on the comms to Ormungandr and Face and say, guys, if you meet or run into anyone in town, ask them to point you in the direction of the administrator. We need to know why he's locked out communications.
You're muted, Face.
We're currently walking into the meeting rooms with a guy claiming to be the administrator.
Oh, okay. Well,
Repeat, please, Blaz. Did you just say eat the administrator?
Sorry, what?
No
Repeat, please.
eating anyone.
Eat the minute. What?
HP subs.
Ormungandr turns to face and says, I think we're supposed to eat this guy.
We might be supposed to, but let's see what he has to say first, and then if we don't like what he says, we'll eat it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that.
Okay, Blaz, we might end up eating him.
Say again?
Don't worry about it. What did you find out about him anyway?
Oh, we haven't found out much yet, other than there's an administrator lock on outgoing messages which aren't officially authorized, and our guy, our contact, did try and send a message urgently the day after that lock was initiated. That's all we know. I can try and find out more and stay here, or we can nip into town to back you guys up.
Well, the situation's pretty okay here. If you feel like if you guys want to come here, then that's up to you. Or if you want to get some more info, if you feel like you can get some more info, you can do that.
Good luck.
Thanks, you too, guys. To the bit.
Bye.
Bye.
She's just going to pop her head out and ask Clara what she thinks, whether we should stay here, whether there's anything more we can do here, or whether we should head into town to back them up.
Give me.
I think we should head into town to stop them eating people. We might need to kick their asses.
Can she and Clara please give me a perception check?
Oh, joy.
26.
Sake! 2 that time.
2?
I rolled a 2.
Well, I got 26 and you got 2.
Yes. Technically, that's a 13, but I rolled a 2 and I'm annoyed about it.
With a 26, your heightened assassin senses sense something in the dwindling light, movement, not wind movement, something ground level, a shifting of snow, a shifting of ice, and the sound of cracking out in the darkness.
Dark?
It's pretty dark. It's like it's Arctic tea time.
So
Very
it's
very
like
flat light, very hard, very
but
flat
not
light and pretty dark.
Okay.
It's like really 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 bright moonlight, or really or really really flat grey daylight, somewhere in between those two.
Snow's pretty shiny.
Yeah. Hence you detecting the movement even through the wind and the blizzard.
Guys, I'm detecting something down at the bottom of the tower moving through the snow.
Laz is going to tear himself away from the terminal and grab his trusty sparkly stick and nip outside to find out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, she's gonna go down as well.
Okay, so you're all
Are we not already at the bottom of the tower?
Yeah, you two were already just
No, we're
outside.
in the middle.
Blaz is just you were just out the door on the balcony as I saw it. Okay, so you all join up on the balcony. You hear the sound of something relatively large moving through the snow. It may be several things, and in fact, as it comes closer, it's definitely several things. There is a frantic scuffling of snow and more cracking out there in the darkness.
Laz casts Detect Magic.
No magic is in play.
Can we tell which direction they're coming from?
Yes, general direction is to the west. West.
And they're heading towards us.
It sounds as though.
How deep's the snow?
It's around here, anywhere from mid-calf to waist deep, dependent on whether you're in a drift between rocks or...
We're on a little balcony, right?
You are on a grill balcony just outside the mast.
And there's some steps leading up to us.
Yes.
Clara's gonna keep her hand ready on her gun, but not take it out yet, and just watch.
She's got her hand on her knife.
Clara's already an adhesive spell to cast on the stairway to obstruct anyone coming up.
Can I, is it too dark for me to try and detect thoughts at this point? Use detect thoughts just to...
You haven't got eyeline on anything, so I cannot let you do
Okay.
that. You have to see a creature.
Eyeline.
Yeah. All of you give me a perception roll.
Please don't be a fucking woman.
4.
16.
16. No, 14 total. I rolled a 3 that time.
14 total. Oh,
My 3d20 rolls today have been 1, then 2, then 3.
yikes. Well, at least we're going in the
But
right
your plus
direction.
perception must be crazy.
You've given Face your dice.
Plus 11 perception.
Well,
Tasty.
Upper senses.
you can just about in the darkness. Blaz, you're struggling. Your eyes have been configured for a different environment, and the color correction and focusing algorithms are struggling with the flat light and rapid movement of the snow through the air of Cryonis 3. You're struggling to make anything out. However, Ellie, who's first detected the sound, can now make out a shape against the flat, week-long sunset here on Cryonis 3. You make out the shape of... You're not sure, but it's tall.
We lost Ellie.
I'm scared her.
There we go.
Scared. No, it's fake. No, he's back. Oh no. We've all jumped out of order.
Oh,
It's alright,
dear.
we're going to take a break in a second. And Ellie's going to turn the camera back on. Okay, I was just telling you that you see the silhouette of something large, segmented torso, a not insignificant number of what appear to be legs, with glinting crystalline outcroppings from the joints, catching the flat light of... you can't see what it is yet, but it's big and heavily belegged. And that is where we're going to take a quick break.
Just have an image in my mind of that, you know, in Transformers, the big the scorpion in the desert.
Mhm.
That just came into my head. and
No
I'm
idea
terrified.
if it's like, is it one big thing or is it lots of little things? Like,
Some
she's
reason-
eyesight's not that great.
For some reason, I just had Hopper from A Bug's Life.
That's arguably worse than a Transformer scorpion.
I'm going to go and take more painkillers and mix them with alcohol. I'll be back in a few minutes and we will pick this up. Who knows where? I guess we'll find out in a few minutes. Be right back. So we last left the party. 3 of them were up at the comms tower with a mysterious something moving towards them from the darkened snow plains. Meanwhile in town, Face and Ormungandr having a sit-down with Nix Mazerata, unfortunately, the administrator of said settlement. And that's where we're going to pick up our story with them pair and Nix. One security has remained in the room with you. The other is just stood outside door to the meeting rooms that are part of the sort of town hall administrator's office building in the centre of the circular town.
Is this his office?
No. This is a small meeting room off the main sort of... Essentially, there's the building, as far as you can tell, is laid out as follows. You have a large meeting space, kind of like a town hall, a social space, multi-purpose, with various adornments around room. You see, sort of pictures of like recent events that have gone on in there. Everything from sort of family events to company meetings, that sort of stuff. Right. And yeah, like there are a few meeting rooms off this main space. Again, multifunction. Everything here feels very, very utilitarian, and so a fairly neutral room just off the main town hall. And yeah, one security stays with you, and Nix takes a seat opposite, drops his hood to reveal a silvering mane. Clearly led a tough life, fairly weathered skin. Older chap. Just has a certain not unattractive, but not attractive either. Just he's getting on in years, probably in his late 60s, early 70s. Not much joy, not much humour in his face. Welcome in, Jeff, and good to see you, Snarler. So yeah, he sits down opposite you, and he gives you a moment, just in case you wanted to talk first.
So Nix, what can you tell us about this place?
Well, I understand you are here on orders to inspect our facility. I don't recognize your authority to question me. I should be questioning you. I received no authorization of your ship landing here. I should have been notified. Silent port partner or not.
Well, it seems that your communications to this facility may not be working, because there should have been a notification.
Yes, I'm afraid we had to turn off the comms systems. We have been facing some security issues, and it was decided
What kind of issues?
security issues.
Such as?
And it was determined that we were safer not letting this information become public.
Well, we're here to fix that.
What kind of information?
He opens up his PCU and looks over your credentials once again. And
We're here to help, Mr. Mazerata.
realising you are representing shareholders, he grudgingly offers up the following information.
Several weeks ago, we had an incident in one of the mines. They uncovered a rather large nest of arachnoids. We've been unable to continue mining operations, and we have temporarily ceased operations until the problem can be dealt with.
And you thought the best idea was to not let the people who pay you know about this.
You know how insecure interstellar communications can be. We had no dispatch ships at our disposal at the time, and, well, once we'd put measures in place to protect the mines, we felt no need to let the news spread any further. I'm sure you'll appreciate discretion in these matters. It's a rather sensitive industry we work in.
Just chipping in to say Jeff's comment in the chat is accurate. I've just checked the audio on Twitch.
Thank you. Hopefully that's better. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. I see why. Sorry, I was on the wrong headphone mix. Thank you. Okay.
So, this problem, how are you resolving it then?
I
have utilized my budgetary authority to contract some external experts to come and resolve the infestation problem, at which point I see no obstacle to us resuming mining operations. We have been exploring new fertile mining grounds just south of our most southernmost mine, and we have great high hopes for this new endeavor.
So has this issue been resolved, Mr. Mazerata?
Well, the danger persists, but they have been busily clearing the nests, and so far I am happy with the results.
What do you think, Face?
Well, you say you've hired people to come in and clear these nests,
Correct, yes.
and they're out there doing that now.
Well, I don't know about immediately at this moment, but yes, they've been based up towards the mines for the past several weeks.
How many?
I don't have an exact count. 6, maybe?
How many arachnoids?
No one's managed to get a count. Too many for us to deal with. They seem to be growing in numbers.
But you still didn't think it was worth contacting anyone external to let them know?
It didn't.
If they're growing in numbers, then clearly your exterminators don't have control of the situation, do they?
Well, they were growing in numbers before they started. I haven't been there myself.
But you're the administrator, so you haven't kept an eye on this.
Well, I can't count them all. I've
But
put a
you've
solution
you've
in
liaised with
place
your-
and monitoring the situation.
So what was the last report you had from the team you employed to deal with this problem?
Well, they're progressing as anticipated. It may take a few more weeks, but we should...
When did you speak to them last?
Oh, it must have been a day or so ago.
Contact them now. I want to see how this is. See what's going on.
Now, you listen here. I may acknowledge your authority to inspect our operations, but you don't get to give me orders in my own facility. If you have a request, I will consider it. But you don't get to tell me what to do. And I'm sure that upon inspection you will find that our operation here is above and beyond reproach.
I'm gonna shoot him a look. And
Can we do an intimidate check?
just show him my dragon teeth and try
Yeah.
and intimidate him?
Saurian tag team intimidation, boys.
Give me
That's
the
what we're doing
intimidation
now.
roll.
Mine is...
18.
18.
And mine is... Mine's 22.
However, as you clearly represent interested
Claw
parties,
bump.
Yeah.
I will send them a message. It is rather late. It may be tomorrow, but I will send them a message now to let them know of your arrival. I'm sure they will be able to brief you on their activities.
It's very kind, Mr. Mazerata. And Ormungandr grins to show his very big teeth as well, which are not as big as faces, but are also very sharp and white and shiny.
Well, that is my job here. Managing people and communications and, well, fine. And he
Just
sends
One more question.
Go on.
Do you have anyone manning the communications tower right now?
It is an unmanned facility. No, there's no one based at the comms tower.
Okay.
Mr. Mazerata, can you provide us with a billet and cold weather gear suitable, such as what you're wearing for yourself, for the other members of our party?
You came here to do an inspection on an ice mining facility and didn't pack appropriate clothing?
We were
Well,
told we'd be able
there
to
is-
secure appropriate supplies when we arrived at the settlement, and that the administrator would provide us with all the assistance we would require.
That is what our communications told us?
Well, perhaps they should have informed me.
Well,
There
they
are some-
Perhaps you should have informed them.
Your communications are down,
Yeah.
so
Yes, well, fine. There are some spare lodgings at the far end of the settlement. You may use those for the time being. How long will you be staying with us for?
As long as until the problem's resolved, I suspect, Mr. Mazerata.
yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll clear this infestation in probably just a couple of days, honestly.
I will have to stop you there. I have been given complete authority now to run mining operations here, and I won't tolerate external interference. I have a team working on the infestation problem, and I don't want you coming in and muddling things up.
How are we going to do that?
Well, if I knew that, it wouldn't concern me so.
I mean, it's just another bug hunt, isn't it?
No, I'm afraid the mines are off limits to non-corporation personnel. It is a
Please don't
simple
leave this
matter of
guy.
health and safety, and I will not allow you to disrupt the work taking place. I'm afraid if you wish to know what is going on in the mines, you can talk to the crew. But you are not, I repeat, not permitted to enter the mine area, as we will not accept liability for what might happen to you if you ignore my recommendations.
Oh my god, I'm tired of listening to this guy.
Do we eat him?
Let's not eat him, but we'll thank you for your help.
Yes, well, security will show you your temporary lodgings.
And the equipment, Mr. Mazerata.
We will be seeing you around.
Yes, well, certainly there are some supplies in the residence that you may make use of. Please make a note of anything you do use and hand it into my office as soon as you can. We are a settlement of limited resources, and we must take everything into account on the ledger to make sure things are ordered that we require. I trust you will cooperate?
Indeed. As we leave, I'm going to make finger guns at him.
Yeah, we just walk out doing finger guns at him.
He looks concerned and unimpressed at the arrival in the town of Face and Ormungandr. But yet the security guard shows you over to a couple of these prefab residences, essentially kind of like trailers or double wide trailers, but they can be bolted to the side of a spacefaring cargo ship and deposited on the back ass end of nowhere. That is Cryonis 3, self-contained little domiciles, and it's relatively warm in there. There are some very, very, very basic creature comforts. There's a toilet, there's a bed, there's a rack, but nothing extravagant.
We'll report to the rest of the team and let them know what we've found out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to the rest of the team, if you come in the front door of the town, don't let them know that you're with us. Make it seem like we're two different groups, because then the pressure's on. Then.
Yeah. So if you guys say that you're from also, yeah, from
If
a
he says
silent
anything
partner.
about us, just say you don't know anything about us. You're just here to represent your guy.
We've kind of got our own problems up here right now, but we'll try and bear that in mind.
Oh, what's going on?
What kind of problems?
Too many legs. Way too many legs. I do not like this amount of legs.
Do you think
So
what you're looking at
that
could be
many
called?
legs.
Do you think what you're looking at could be called an arachnoid?
Yep, it's got that vibe. Mm.
Right. So we'll
Starting to
detail what
look
he's
that way.
told us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't have time to fully relay the conversation because we are in very much real-time situation over here at the comms tower. The looming shadow of a vaguely arachnoidy shape is looming towards the tower, and now you can hear a little bit clearer. You can hear some pretty large, slow, methodical crunching in the snow, and then a more... I would describe it as a skittering sound. That's a little harder to localise. And you just sense... You have the sense of slowly being surrounded. However, you are in battle mode. Your senses are heightened. And over the sound of the skittering and the slow, methodical crunch of some eight-legged horror, you hear a slowly shifting in pitch, sort of sound drifting across the plain, and you can make out a light tracking this sound as it makes its way across the below the skyline. As it gets closer, it suddenly stops, and the light disappears. And as you stand on the balcony, you hear the scuffling subsiding a little. When out of nowhere, you hear the cracking of the ionosphere as a very high-powered energy bolt emerges from the darkness, flashes from the darkness, and briefly silhouettes a large spider-like figure in the darkness. You get a very quick flash of the surroundings where you see a large ice blue crystalline spider-like creature with a... You can't even make it out, but it's almost like it's moving on a bed of broken ice cubes rolling forwards. But the energy bolt only briefly illuminates this scene, and you suddenly hear a... and you hear the same, this time more hurried scratching and crunching sounds, withdrawing away from the comms tower, back into the darkness. And for now, the scene is quiet. What do you do?
Did you hear that? Did you see that? The light?
Yeah, everyone saw
energy
that.
bolt?
Yeah, because it was pretty big and loud.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I think I did it with my mind.
The spider thing or the energy blast? What
I think I did it with my mind.
hell? I really hope that's true. That would be great. That would be a very useful thing. Not that you're not already very useful, but that, with big spiders, that would be great.
Where did they come from? Why did they go away? And who the hell made that energy bolt?
As you are wondering, expressing this curiosity, a new silhouette takes the place of, from a similar direction as the arachnoids were approaching from. You see a wide-brimmed, furred hat, tall, long limbs, lithe, dangerous-looking silhouette, long coat, high collar, and from the darkness emerges the only way I could probably describe him is like, try and picture a cross between kind of like an ice gunslinger. Right, he's all in white, but the kind of layered, strapped outfit you would expect to see from an old-fashioned cowboy, but white materials, furs, strapped up with a fairly impressive array of armaments, and the wind and the blizzard don't even seem to be affecting him, and he slowly strolls out of the darkness and stands in front of you. It just gives you a look up and down. Doesn't say anything.
A mighty fine coat you're wearing.
Well, thank you, stranger. What are you folks doing out here?
Evidently getting our asses saved by you. Thank you for that.
Well, that's no problem. It ain't exactly wise for off-worlders such as yourselves to be out here in the plains at night.
Yes, we weren't exactly expecting giant spider things to attack us.
Well, there's a lot of them around here. If I were you, I'd be heading back to your ship.
Noted. We have some business to attend to before we can leave, though, so...
Miners, huh?
No.
Well, only miners have any business around here.
We represent the shareholders of the mining corporation. We're here to investigate some issues with communication and supply chain.
Well, I'm sure the administrator can clear all that up. He's over at the settlement. But if I were you, I'd get out of here sooner rather than later.
Why is that?
Well, one thing me and the arachnoids have in common. Neither of us are too partial to outsiders.
Who are you, stranger?
The name's Dex. Dex Griffin. I'm a hunter. Of a kind. And I don't remember catching your name there, partner.
My name is Blaz Muzzfish. I am a hero of the Absalon Station Hangar 42 massacre. You may have heard of us.
Well, we don't get much news out here. Hero, huh? I remember a guy called himself a hero.
I'm sorry, I just keep expecting you to say war. War never changes, and it's really distracting.
You gotta leave me. If you want it, you gotta lead me up to it.
It's so hard.
If you want it, you gotta lead me up to it.
Before we go, what can you tell us about these arachnoids? You seem to see them off fairly easily there.
Well, they pop up all around here. They're drawn to the mining activity. You don't want to be venturing down there. That last one I took out, that's just a baby.
They weren't always here, were they?
Oh, they've been around. A lot of them of late, though. Me and my crew will deal with them, don't you worry.
That's not comforting.
No, not with the numbers. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Surely if they've been around for a long time, somebody would have noticed before now. Why are the numbers growing to the point where mining operations aren't working and somebody's blocked the comms off-planet?
Well, I'm not sure I appreciate your attitude there, Missy.
Not many people do.
We got it in hand.
Do you, though?
You do your little report. You run off back to your corporate overlords. Leave us doing the real work.
Who's we?
My crew.
So how much of a dent have you made in this weird spider thing population?
We're getting by just fine. Some of the deeper nests take a while. But they're gonna move.
So you barely
they're
done
gonna move the
anything.
mining operations south anyway.
Okay, so they've barely done anything. Good. Great.
You better watch your tone there. In fact, you remind me of someone. Who is it? Oh yeah, a couple of coats I own.
Oh wow, I've never heard that joke before.
I ain't joking, sweetheart.
And he's
Great.
like he starts to slowly, like just starts to walk backwards towards the back into the darkness. He's keeping his eyes on you at all times.
Well, I guess
He's
I'll,
considering whether to like just jump him and slit his throat for that comment.
I guess I'll be seeing you around then.
Clara's just sitting there like, oh, I think I'm spending too much time with she. It's just like her sass levels are growing, and she's like, where am I?
Yes.
I was just kind of giving him a smile and a wave. Bye.
Emotional Clara plus a lot of time with she equals sass.
Well, your mysterious savior slinks back into the night. His fingers just hovering over one of his hip-mounted pistols. But he slinks back into the night towards whichever mode of transport whisked him to your aid shortly before. And once again, you see a light in the mid-distance, and the familiar of him drifting off to whence he came.
Well, I thought he was gonna be cool, but he was kind of a dick.
He has more of an attitude problem than I do.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Do we need
I
to?
like
Attitude
it.
problem's fun.
Okay.
Do we need to check in? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. So you've basically got a choice to make at this stage, folks. You can pursue your respective prongs of the investigation outwards, or you can bring the group back together. But I think at this point, it's probably where you need to make a decision as to how you want to approach the next stages of your investigative process. So I would ask you to decide that amongst you now.
If the other two said their reason for coming here was to investigate the comms, and then told us not to say we were from the same place, should we maybe get our version of the story figured out before we go back? Like, do we want to say we're doing the same thing but from a different shareholder, or do we want to...
Yeah.
Oh, we could pretend to be spider experts here to study arachnid colonies.
Baz is
Do you
going to
think-
make the suggestion that this is a mining town, so they've got miners. We could probably pretend to be a traveling entertainment for the miners.
Traveling entertainment?
What is graveling entertainment?
Are you trying to pimp us out?
I mean, I wouldn't use those words exactly, but
You got some good dance moves, Blas.
yeah, okay. Just gonna drop that suggestion.
Mark.
Good idea. We could be miners. We've come here to do some mining.
We could
Come on,
be private
guys,
investigators.
Yeah, we could be. Although, yeah.
Guys,
I mean,
wouldn't he know if there were... I mean, the administrator controls people coming in and out, right? Yeah? Including presumably new mining crews. Now, the comms have gone down, it's established. So if you come in, you've also got the same security passes that we do. Just state that you're from a different silent shareholder. Yeah? That's the most plausible thing. If you just rock up and pretend you're miners, he's going to be like, that's cool, where's your mining gear? If you say that you're experts in what are they called again? Arachnoids, Is he not going to liaise with the guy who just saw you? He's going to be like, these guys didn't know what that was, and I had to save their ass. I'm not saying you did. 'Cause I'm sure you can handle
Ormungandr's
this.
making it's a sensible suggestion. I say we go with that.
Okay.
Alright then, jump on the ass.
Okay, everybody
I
climb in.
get to see Blaz's dance moves.
Everybody clamber into the ass and head to the settlement.
It's gotta ruin everything for us, Sam.
We could always have. We could always
Guys,
have,
if you want to pretend to be a traveling burlesque show, as suggested by Bilaz, yeah, you do it, guys.
So it takes you a little while to trundle your way. Who's driving, by the way?
Probably not Blaz after last time.
I'll drive.
Yeah, now she-
Okay, Ellie, give me a piloting check, please. For she's
And I
Ass
hope
skills.
that she gets a nat one.
17.
17.
You're in the same car.
So yeah, you take to it. You take to the stick like an absolute natural. You're an ass master. You just sail it through the. You just sail it through the dunes and the ice patches, like it meant nothing to you, and you make a really good time back to the main trunk road.
Can I smirk at Blaz while I'm doing
Yeah,
it? Just
absolutely
throw the
you
odd
can.
smirk in his direction.
You make good time, which means that you manage to make it back before Ormungandr and Face choose to re-emerge or head anywhere else from their residences. So they will not get a chance to do anything else before you arrive. So good time made. As you come up to the gates, you are met with to at least the rest of your party, familiar shadows of a couple of local security. And the long parked frame of Nix Mazerata. You there? Hold your vehicle. I presume you halt your vehicle, or do you
I've
just run the
halted. I've
instructions?
halted my vehicle.
Okay,
I've
cool.
halted my vehicle.
State your business.
I'm kind of thinking somebody more tactful than me should probably state business.
I'm waiting for Clara to take the lead because my diplomacy is not fantastic.
Mine is awful, genuinely bad.
Clara's gonna. She's gonna just kind of step down from the vehicle and approach with like kind of hands up. It's like, we're not here to cause any trouble. We're just here to look into some things.
Security are pretty chill. They're not like raising their guns on you. They're keeping an eye on the situation, but they're like letting you approach.
She's gonna she's gonna get the credentials ready again, not the ones with Aldous' name on.
Okay.
And just say one of the silent partners has requested some checkups. They didn't get his shipment. We're just here to iron some stuff out, figure out what's going on, see if there's anything you need help with.
How many more of you are there?
I'm sorry?
2 of your team have already arrived. They're over there in the temporary residences.
Oh. That's strange.
It's nothing to do with us.
Do you take me for a fool, madam? But one ship has landed on this moon. We just came across 2 strangers in our settlement. And now you appear not 2 hours later. Did you swim here?
Okay,
Wait,
so
wait.
you passed the competency test. Well done.
Congratulations, Mike. Just testing.
Give me. No, you know what? Yeah, you get away with that. Yeah, okay. fine. Well, you'll find your colleagues towards the east side of the complex. And he gestures
Thank you
over
very
to
much.
their little set of prefabs.
She just like. Is it like does the road continue?
Pretty much, yeah. It goes
Okay.
and then it kind of
She's-
splits into like an eye shape, like eyeball
She's
shape.
gonna hop back on the ass and just lean into Chi and Blaz and be like, "That was fucking close."
Okay.
Yeah, tell me about it. If you ever catch me listening to Ormungandr's ideas again, slap me in the face.
Technically, I think that one was a joint
I'm
decision,
ready.
so we just won't. Let's just not listen to any of their grand schemes again.
I can tag team. I
it's
can tag team
fine.
in the
At least
Nashi.
we're
She
in.
can slap you instead.
So you roll the ass up to the residences. The administrator has kind of drifted back towards the administration building. There's still like a couple of security out, just drifting in and out of the office by the gate. But the rest of the town seems quiet. It's clearly late in the evening. No one's really out and about. It's a small knit community, and there's not much to do in the evenings. Everybody pretty much packs their way into the residences. Although you did notice on your drive down, you also saw the makeshift bar just outside the settlement gates on your way in.
Also, like to get Clem on comms.
Sure.
Once we're all like met up together again, and just let him know what's happened.
Okay.
We should give him a rundown.
So, Face Ormungandr, you recognise the signature rumble of the ass as it rolls up to the residences. So you crack the door and go out to meet the rest of your team. And please continue.
Wait, what time is it?
It's late. I suppose the Earth equivalent would be kind of, it's getting on towards midnight. It's late.
I don't know. Like
Maybe 11.
maybe we just wait inside, like, and they just find us like napping happily, like contented. Saurians just there, like,
Okay, it's up to you.
just got it there. Sort of bellies full of lizards on sticks, just content with our general
Is there a minibar?
subtleties. Yeah.
There is no minibar now. There is
There's no minibar.
there's food storage, but it's empty. So
What
Okay,
time
in that
is
case
the
we-
bar open until?
Okay,
Because-
they walk in the residence to find us just looking through all the cupboards. And the drawers.
Yeah, just like
It's
throwing
like,
stuff.
where is everything? Where's all the food and the drinks?
Leave you two alone for 5 minutes, can we?
Oh, hey
Did
guys.
you manage not to eat anyone?
He knows we're all together. He's not stupid.
Eat anyone? What?
That's why you should have let us eat him.
Yeah.
No.
No eating.
We did meet someone you might be able to eat if he gives me and she any more attitude.
Oh yes, definitely someone you can eat. We could do with finding out a bit more about him and his team. I don't know how willing the administrator would be to telling us.
Well, I think we've got the administrator by the scrote.
What?
I believe that's the technical term.
Is that the technical?
yeah, we've
Yeah.
really got his bollocks in a catapult. That's the that's the term,
Yeah.
I think.
We've got his soft angry bits and a very hard, sharp clawed lizard fist.
Yeah. So
Okay.
We only need to.
I'm sure he'll give us what we need when we ask.
I'd
He
like
said
to
he-
know more about this man that threatened to turn me into a coat.
Well, the administrator did say that he's going to radio
Not in the
his
fun way.
team for us and get them in contact. So hopefully we'll
Okay.
find out more soon.
We need to
tomorrow,
find-
please.
We need to find Dr. Helsig. So maybe it's worth us hitting the bar and seeing if we can do some sleuthing and find out where he lives. What do you think?
I think that would be a good idea. Find out more about what people know about the spiders, about the weird guy in the cowboy hat.
And maybe we
Yeah.
should also check out security on the mine entrances. Because he was
How
very
far
adamant
away
that we
is
don't go there. But I feel like it's necessary that we do.
Yeah.
At this point, Blaz notices Face's mangled thermal protection and that his calves are encrusted with frost. And
But don't I look good?
just kind of raises an eyebrow and would you like me to help you out with that before we go back out in the snow?
I just look at my legs. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, thanks, yeah.
Blaz
That'd be
casts
good.
token spell on Face's boots to warm them up.
Ah, okay. You can do that with token spell, can you?
Yeah, you can move stuff, make stuff glow, warm stuff up.
Very
It's
nice.
not particularly powerful, it's just utilitarian.
No, that's
My
very
calves
nice.
Under like prestidigitation.
Yeah.
So you give Thermal's hind claws a little toastification, magic toastification. Lovely. So you guys going to? Are you guys collectively heading to the bar then? Is that what you're saying?
Nightcap.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
do some sleuthing.
A couple of drinks will warm you all up.
Go and interrogate people.
So you head out into the square.
How many beds are there in this temporary accommodation?
You've been given essentially like 3 two-person I suppose racks, residences. You know, like I say, think of them almost like trailers. So you've been given 3 trailers. Each currently have 2 beds in. Okay.
Nice.
All adjacent. Okay, so you start making your way across the settlement and heading towards the gates. You have to head just outside the perimeter to get to the bar that you saw on the way in. It's lit. It appears is active. You start to pick up the sound of voices, some soft music from inside, or at least quiet music. Maybe not soft music, but maybe slightly more raucous music, but turned down. And you are outside the door.
What's this place called?
No name. No name on the outside.
A weird name.
Barely anything to mark it out as a bar, apart from a pretty common type of, essentially like a tumbler. It's like a
Is it just
wide-based
like a corporate
cylindrical
logo bar?
tumbler. No, it's more like it's almost like a tabac in France. You know, there's like a symbol everybody kind of recognises, or a pharmacy. So there's the kind of the tumbler logo, just made out of some what look like reclaimed neons. You know, and that's on the outside. But that's the only real giveaway that she's a bar at all.
Yeah.
Blaz takes a deep breath and squares his shoulders and strides with undeserved confidence through the door directly into the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna head up the back of the group.
Okay, as Blaz strolls in, the music that you could just about make out outside just seems to stop. There are inside. It's a pretty ramshackle looking place, but it's warm. There's a variety of drinks and taps and barrels up behind the bar. It's an underlit bar, and you see small pockets of hard-bitten, kind of thermal dungaree wearing sort of. It's like a working class crowd in there. It's not particularly raucous, but certainly you feel the room's eyes spin and lock onto yours as you enter the room. There's a tall barmaid behind the bar who kind of briefly stops polishing a glass, and
Do we hear a record scratch at any point?
yeah, whatever the kind of futuristic MP17 version of a record scratch is. That happens as you set foot in there. Everyone is staring at you.
Blaz beelines for the bar. Doesn't look left, doesn't look right. Eye contact with no one. Slaps a 50 credit stick down on the, I'm assuming, fairly rough-hewn surface of the bar. And looking at the barmaid, says, "Around for the house. Let's warm everyone up."
I walk in doing finger guns.
Oh my fucking god.
Not at anyone
Why?
in particular.
Why do you like this?
Ormungandr nudges face in like his wing, goes, "Lock up your sheep, eh?" And just walks up into the bar.
How about you, Clara? Describe your entrance for me.
Disdain.
We don't have words at this point.
Okay.
Mild disappointment.
So the tall, on closer inspection, give me a culture check. Culture check, please, Blaz.
One culture check of 19.
Oh, okay. You recognise the bartender as being a half elf. Tall, slender features, slightly pointed ears, straight, somewhat arched eyebrows. Give her away, as do her somewhat dulcet tones when she goes, "New in town, huh?"
Very new. I'm guessing that we stand out a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah, sorry about my friends. They're it's a community outreach program. You know, we take them along, we mind them.
Uh-huh. Well, you sure reached out pretty far to find yourself on Cryonis 3.
Okay, how long have you been here?
Well, you'll have to get that round in before I start answering questions, honey. So, she just whisks the 50 cred stick off the bar, and then rings a junk bell from behind the bar, and the mine workers that are populating the bar all suddenly perk up, look a little bit cheerier, and start in turn basically filing their way over to the bar and getting their fill of free drinks courtesy of Mr. Muzzfish. And you hear the music return, and the general atmosphere in the bar starts to detensify with James's Blaz's generous round, and the barmaid goes back to serving her customers and polishing glasses.
I want to just sort of lean on the bar and check out the room. Do you give it a proper look around, see what's going on?
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit
19.
Sit and drink.
Okay. So you can see that this bar has been fashioned from what appears to be the remnants of old residences. It looks like it's made of the same parts as the prefabs, but it didn't come in one piece. It looks improvised, adapted, cobbled together somewhat, and it's a mixture of salvage and junk and former residences and so on. It's got like a kind of a personal touch that actually is lacking elsewhere in the settlement. You see that the miners look in relatively good health. And certainly they don't seem particularly interested in befriending outsiders. They may not be staring at you anymore, but they're certainly not inviting you over for a drink. The vibe is...
anyone that seems interested in our group enough to like... I'm sort of seeing if I can spot anyone that might be the geologist guy that we need as well.
I'll tell you what I will let you do. Give me a sense motive check for the room. Or, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of an insighty thing, but I want you to see if... Yeah.
Okay. 4.
4. You certainly don't see anybody in particular standing out. People don't seem to be very interested in talking to you guys. They're pretty wrapped up in their own conversations, their own little dramas. But generally, the mood seems okay.
Okay.
Jay, is anyone actually talking about these arachnoids?
There's a general murmur of background conversation, although at the moment you do seem to, it feels as though as you move from like as you float around the room, your presence seems to clam up the conversations a little bit. You can sense they don't know who you are, so as you come drifting over within earshot, there's a certain sense of, they're paying more. At that point, they're paying more attention to you than considering their conversations.
Laz is going to try and catch the eye of the barmaid and say, I hope you got one for yourself out of the round.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. And she pours herself a shot of firewater and quaffs it with no hesitation. Gives you a little nod. Pops it back behind the bar.
Okay, impressive work. We're looking for someone in town. I don't suppose you know anyone who's not a miner?
Well, that sure is a funny way of framing that question. Who is it you're looking for there, Hard?
A xenobiologist by the name of... checks his now.
Helsig.
Helsig.
Dr. Helsig. Well, I'm sorry, honey. No one's heard or seen sight nor sound of him for weeks now.
Really? What happened?
It looks like the arachnoids got him. He went missing. He was out on the plains as he normally is, and one day he just never came back. We sent out a group looking for him, but no tracks, no body.
Oh, that sounds like a fairly grim fate. Where did he live in town?
Oh, he has a residence in the settlement, but he's also got his lab.
Okay, could you point me in the right direction?
She drops a little ping on a copy of the settlement map and flicks it over to your PCU. Indicates the whereabouts of his residence in town.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Osha Rains.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rains.
You're welcome.
Nice work, Baz. Very slick.
Smooth.
Sorry, I was thinking of OSHA violation puns, don't mind me.
Let's shares this ping with the rest of the group via the old computers.
Just to clarify, we're not getting into a bar fight, right? That's the
No
consensus.
bar fights.
Clara has some questions she doesn't want to bring up right now.
Okay.
She is gonna kind of just say actually no, fuck it, we're in a bar, people are talking, no one's paying attention to us. She said he went missing on the plains. But the shady attitude guy that came up to us, didn't he say that the arachnoids were deep in the mines?
You said they were all over, and the one that came after us was not in the mines.
Definitely not.
Okay, but the plains are further away from the mines than we were.
I'll tell
Is the
you.
question?
I will
find
clarify something because I didn't give you a world map. So essentially, there is like beyond the Horseshoe Mountains, outside the kind of protective U shape of the mountains around the settlement area, it pretty much becomes kind of rough tundra for thousands, millions of acres out to the east, and essentially the mines and kind of nested area. The mines, there are three. There's a kind of a north, an east, and a south mine as you head out from northwest and south mine. And from what you could gather, the most of the arachnoid activity seems to be more focused to the north and the west at the moment. But out there, that is the plains, and out there, that's where you'll find the mines. You'll find comms.
Oh,
Comms
okay.
panel. Yeah. The plains is kind of out beyond the mountain range, effectively.
Guys, didn't you say you found a message from him at the comms tower?
Yeah, it said something about urgency. Like he wanted to send something urgent.
Seems like we need to read this message. I think that would really help us.
Good call.
As relays how difficult it would have been to get to message contents, and suggests that while we're in town, we go and check out the residence and the lab of the missing in action Dr. Helsig,
Good idea.
Helvig, whatever.
You might be able to find the device that he sent the message from and get it off there.
Well, I say we talk to the administrator again and get him to, if he's the one that's blocking communications, then surely we can make him unblock.
Well, seeing as you two seem to have had some success with that, why don't you handle trying to get him to release the block, and the three of us can investigate the house and all that?
Residents.
Wait a minute, maybe we don't want him to know. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to tell him why you want the block released. You could make up an excuse.
You've got to report in.
Yeah, it's a good call.
We can't report back to the shareholders if the comms are down.
Yeah.
Good call. All right, we'll try that. Although,
Will unblocking the comms give us access to the message? Because that's what we really need.
I'll clarify a few technological things for you. You are able to send messages out because you have the Rusty Mustang's own drift beacon. So you have access to the Rusty Mustang's drift beacon.
But would the administrator know that?
No.
The administrator, realistically, would probably assume that because you came here on an interstellar travel ship. It would be unlikely you would have made it here under conventional power. You're really out of the way. So, presumably you got here via drift travel, which means presumably you've got a drift drive and therefore a drift beacon. So he would not presume to be able to stop your communications from the Rusty Mustang. And as far as the settlement's own drift beacon goes, like I say, you could tell that the higher level functions, certainly retrieving messages and getting past the administrator lock, is a seriously daunting piece of hacking. That is going to be a time consuming process.
Maybe there's a password somewhere that we could find, or I mean, I say we all go to the lab at least. We all should go.
Yeah,
to the
I think
lab.
we should all go there together.
And
But I think we could
all
split
go
up
to the
for the.
mines together. At some
Oh,
point.
definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we should go anywhere near the mines unless it's all five of us together.
And not without knowing more about it.
Yeah. But I think
Agreed.
that we could maybe split up for the home search and talking to the administrator.
one
And
thing we
then
might.
reconvene for the lab and mines.
Oh wait, so what do you want us to what do you want us to actually say to the administrator then? What do you want us to try and get him to lift the block, or
I mean, if you can convince him to lift the block first, that would obviously be easier. Like if he does it himself. But if not, maybe distract him and see what you can find in his office. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty late right now. Do we think he might have gone home?
It is late. It is late.
I mean,
Could we get into his office without... I feel like if we're going to do something like that, it should be the sneakier people.
Do you want me to try and break into his office?
it's true.
I'm happy to try. I've got good spell.
I mean, you're a PI, right, Clara? So this is your kind of work.
Yeah, I mean, I can try and go get in there now, if you want me to.
Well, do we do lab first, or because we might find some new evidence?
Let's do the lab first. Let's all go check out the lab.
Yeah.
And then we can check out, or alternatively, we can split. Two of us can go and check out the lab. Two of us can go and check out Dr. Helsig's quarters. Yeah? What do we think? Or do you want to just stick together? My other thing was perhaps if 4 of us head out and 1 of us hangs back and then maybe sees if anyone is trying to now follow us. Because I don't trust Mr. Mazerata.
Glancing over at Osha at the bar, Blaz like, I'll stay.
Okay, but you do realize that when I say stay, it means that when we leave, you're going to see if anyone follows us.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Zzz.
Just focus
Oh,
at least
boy.
one
Okay,
eye on us.
Ormungandr doesn't understand any of this kind of weird romantic stuff that's happening in there, just assumes that he's quite happy to basically be the ambush party. So he's like, yeah, okay, let's go check out this this doctor's lab. Lab first?
Lab.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. At least if we do that first, he'll definitely not be in his office by the time we get back, and then I can snoop around.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Get my snout in all of his things.
As you make your way across the settlement, Blaz, you don't detect anybody following. A few minutes after the party leave, a few people do start to filter out, but that's because it's late. It's bedtime. It's a company town. It's not got a pounding nightlife. The bar seems to be winding down. The rest of you make your way across the settlement until you come to the ping that Osha gave you for Dr. Helsig's residence, not crucially his lab. It is not a difficult. We're not going to roll for it. It's not a difficult hack for you. Team in general. These are pretty. I mean, security is fairly low. Interpersonal security is pretty low. It's a very tight-knit community. There isn't need for major security between residences. Everyone knows each other. It's a curtain-twitching type of community anyway. So it's pretty much an unlocked doors type of place. You make your way in. I say you make your way in. You get the door open. Because when you open the hatch, curiously, the other residences that you've been into so far, like I say, almost have this kind of like double wide trailer vibe. But this one, there is just enough space, about 5 feet square, for one of you to get inside the door. And at which point, the entire residence has been subdivided along its height. So even though it is a single-story building, it has 2 little stories inside. It is quite the squeeze for really any of you to get inside.
I'm gonna keep watch.
Okay,
You
who's the
guys-
smallest?
Clara is probably the smallest and the PI, so it would make sense for us to go in.
Clara
Are you
is
6 foot?
Yeah, she's
Oh.
she's 6.5 foot with her heels, like pushing 7 foot because she has.
Are in 6-inch platforms? Fucking hell.
Ormungandr's 7
she's
foot and
in
built
the
like a
boots.
tank.
I'm 6 foot.
This is yours, mate.
something.
I think you are the shortest at 6 foot, whatever.
Okay, so who's doing?
It's a shame that I'm not a cat person, because then I would be liquid.
Oh, there are what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. I did look
I
at
want to
Furries.
call them tabaxis, but I know that that's not what they're called in Starfinder. That's what they're called in D&D.
Patras.
There are the Patracat types, yeah, like tiger types. Okay, so for you to get in there, then, Clara, you are going to be quite constricted.
I'm not going in.
You're not going in.
I'm not going
Who's
in.
going in?
I thought you were.
I don't think I'm going to fit.
Me?
You
Yeah.
basically any.
I don't know how tall I am.
I'll tell you, any medium-sized creature can fit, but you will be constricted because the space is really designed for a small creature.
I'll go in. I can take the most damage if
So it'd
something
be
just
like-
comes out and smacks us.
It would be like Face trying to make his way down a normal corridor.
I can go in.
I think if somebody with good perception maybe goes in.
I mean, I have good perception, but I do have. I have really good perception, actually.
Sure. All 3 of our characters
That's my
just
first
stop and do like paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors.
I will tell you
My-
now. I'm only,
Let's
I'm only,
go.
I'm only going to allow 2 of you in at any given time. One of you can do the top floor, one of you can do the bottom floor, but there isn't really enough room for you to manoeuvre past each other. So that's how we're going to manage this.
Fuck it, I'll do the top floor.
I'll do bottom.
Hoorah.
Okay, so you kind of commando crawl your way into the respective floors of the residence.
Ormungandr whips off his uniform to reveal a white wife beater, which will
I
immediately
was just
become
about
really
to
dirty.
say, are you die-harding your way through the vents straight away? Okay, so you make your way around. Both give me perception checks, please.
That's 21.
21.
22.
22. Okay. Despite its size, it's quite a comfortable little residence. Clearly, its former occupier cared for it. Good taste. Nice furniture, albeit very small. You see a little hat stand with multiple sets of gloves hung upon it. A few small coats.
Is there anything written in Skittermander? It's one of my languages.
You recognise some notebooks with Skittermander writing on them downstairs in what appears to be some sort of study. They're only small. Would you like to take a look at them?
Yeah, but very gently, because I'm actually, weirdly enough, although they are part of the Vescarium Empire, Ormungandr has a particular, fondness for Skittermanders, so he'll be very delicate with it, very respectful.
Okay, so yeah, as you flick through a few of the journals that you're at, you see some maps of the local mining operations, particularly the underground maps. You see various charts, various measurements of seismic activity, gravitational readings, astronomical observations. You find quite a bit of information about the arachnoids, about their habits, some of his theories on their development, and so it's quite a haul of information really about the biology and geology of the area. And so you find a little stash of notebooks. You also see a picture. In fact, sorry, no, you don't see it. Clara sees it because she's upstairs and she is in his.
I'm
No,
downstairs.
I'm upstairs. I'm upstairs.
Okay, whoever's on the other floor is in this. Has come to the sleeping area and has come across a picture of a small, well-dressed. Looked like maybe at the start of an adventure. Bags and trunks packed behind them, and a smiling Skittermander with an almost smiling Otto Baratha in the background. So it looks as though you may well have found your contact, or at least the home of your contact.
She's gonna pocket that picture
Okay.
and keep searching for anything else interesting.
Okay. Clara, are you using any of your abilities to search and investigate?
No, because none of them help me search the surroundings.
What isn't there? Don't you have that one that's like a really good search? Which I can't remember the name of now.
Profession or something.
I mean, I have my abilities as a private investigator. Oh wait, diligent searcher.
That's the one. That was the one I was asking about.
I forgot I
That's
had that. Fucking hell. Gain a 1+ insight bonus to perception checks. In addition, you can take a 20. What? You can take 20 on a perception check to search in only 5 times the usual amount of time, meaning it takes only 5 minutes for you to exhaustively search an area no more than 20 feet by 20 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can search everything in 5 minutes in this house, basically.
Within a 20 foot by 20 foot. So I think you're probably looking at, like, I would say in this instance it would probably be like choose a floor. You're currently on the kind of living floor, and it seems like the work and study floor is the one that Ormungandr is currently on.
I'm just going to keep searching the floor I'm on.
Okay. Well, with the 22, you do notice that his you can sort of see where the same wet coats get hung up every day, and yet your PI skills allow you to see this is his preferred coat hook, and yet there is no coat on there. In fact, it seems like his outdoor wear is conspicuous in its absence. You also you can tell it's not been used for some time. There is a chill in the air. There is certain areas of frost gathering where some of the insulation isn't quite as tight and sealed as perhaps it was when it first was landed here. It's been a little while. What else would you have discovered on a 22 in the living area? Personal comms unit is missing. You can't find the personal comms unit. You also notice that there is a chair that looks like it used to live. You can see the indentations on the floor where it would normally have been placed, and yet to your PI senses something is amiss about this. One of the few chairs in the place is pointed towards the door, off the centre of the room, just behind a sort of small sort of breakfast, I suppose, almost like a mini breakfast bar. But like it's been positioned unusually within the feng shui of the space. It sticks out to you as being conspicuous.
Does it look like it's like if she pushes it out of the way, is there anything underneath it, like a hidden compartment or?
Okay, so you give it a really good look over. There's no hidden compartments, no trapdoors, nothing like that. But there is a faint residue that on the floor covering, very, very, very faint. That when you sort of pull a claw through it and bring it up to your keen Vlaka senses, give it a little smell, you can tell that it's. I suppose it's essentially the Starfinder equivalent of gunpowder. It's a weapon residue, not normally created by firing weapons. Normally from the modification or loading of weapons.
Okay.
It's a pre-firing compound.
So, kind of seems like he was sitting there paranoid, watching the door and modifying weapons.
You could certainly draw that inference from it. Yeah. That would match with what you see at least.
Okay. Is there anything else nearby that looks suspicious or out of place?
There is. No, there's not.
Okay.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay. Are there any other personal items that might?
Not so much. You get the impression this is somebody who's immersed in their work. That actually, the personal touches are fairly few and far between. You don't really see much in the way of. There are a couple of family photos. It doesn't appear to be in a long-term relationship, but clearly, there's some pictures of home, some other Skittermander photos around the place, but nothing much beyond that. A few letters to and from family. Good old-fashioned letters, very quaint. Something it seems like a traditionalist in a lot of ways.
The sentimental part of her is very warmed by the letters and is going to pocket those as well.
Okay.
And just see if, when they find out what actually happened, if there's any family still around that she can notify.
Okay.
And then she's gonna shuffle back out and tell the others what she found, show them the letters and the photo before putting them back away again.
Okay. Ormungandr downstairs obviously has discovered quite the stash of scientific materials and notes. Nothing immediately leaps out. No smoking gun, as it were. But there's quite a lot there. There's quite a lot to sift through. Quite a lot of background information. It's pretty weighty stuff. Clearly highly qualified individual. But nothing really much else to speak of. However, you did roll such good perception rolls that you do discover the... and it was quite tucked away. It wasn't immediately obvious. In fact, it almost looked like somebody had made an attempt at hiding it. But you do come across the location of Dr. Helsig's lab. So you have some coordinates for Dr. Helsig's lab, which is a way out into the plains, several miles out into the plains, out beyond the current perimeter of the mining operation. And that, I think, is where we're going to wrap it for this week. So, everybody happy? Now, next week is technically season finale, which is nerve-wracking for me because we've got some ground to cover before I can justifiably call it a finale. But I hope you'll all join us at home for that.
Next week
being
Is it the week after next?
We will be taking a week off because it would fall on Boxing Day, wouldn't it?
Boxing Day.
We are not doing a Boxing Day Starfinder stream. Next week will be a 1 week break, but then we are going to come at it between. In fact, it's January. That would make it's January 2nd, correct? Day after New Year's Day is the next one. So yes, we'll be doing a big extravaganza, and then I might take a week or two off, depending on how I feel. I think might just need a week. But we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, so next episode, 2nd of Jan. And who knows what will go on. Will they have another run-in with Dex Griffin? what to make of the snooty administrator. Will Blaz murder any more corporate security? Are the arachnoids scary, or are they just shadow puppets? And what has happened to the little fluffy Dr. Ubel Helsig? And in fact, this whole mining operation in general. These questions and more will be answered Jan 2nd. So I want to thank everybody for playing. In particular, my streamer, soon-to-be streamer down here, she, aka Ellie, the Uncanny Crafter. Go and give her a follow. Go and give @VampZoe a follow, and go and give OverlordFace a follow. I'll be with him on Wednesday, and I think we're taking a break as well over Christmas, aren't we, Face? Little D&D break.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't miss any of that. A couple of thank yous. Thank you, Wolfie, for the resub, and Face and Zoe. Thanks a bunch. And Boobacars, thanks for the follow. I hope you're out there. Here we go, look. And thank you, people in chat, for being here. It's always nice to have you rattling away in the background. Sorry we don't get to speak to you much during the show, but you know, kind of breaks the immersion. But thanks for being here live. See you in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do a fucking music stream this week if it kills me. I know I said that last week, but everyone get in the Discord and yell at me if I'm not on tomorrow night. Or maybe Thursday. No, definitely tomorrow. Right. See you later, everybody. We'll raid out in a second. I'm just going to run the credits, and then we'll find someone to raid.
Goodbye.